So, just to recap, we're walking into the holiday season for things to be merry out there. Whatever you're celebrating this holiday season, we have the perfect gift for you. Many people have asked out there, hey, listen, we want a gift certificate. So this past week, we created a gift certificate because we don't know what people want up online and what the people would charge. So this is what we have. If you log in to your back office right now, we have a gift certificate that you can choose. Either vCard, Pro Card, or you could do the Advisor affiliate program. So either $69, $119, or $149. What we did is we designed some gift certificates that you can take down in a PDF. And I'm going to tell you how to use these gift certificates. They're pretty amazing. And how you use the gift certificate is this way. You take the gift certificate down. You can mail it to a friend, relative. You might want to give it to your employees that work for you. And what you do is it has a spot in there, from and to, and you can put your email and your phone number on there. When the person receiving the gift certificate decides to redeem that gift certificate and says, you know what, I want to turn this on, I want my gift now, they give you a call, you sign them up on your website, and after you sign them up on your website, you put in your credit card information, everything, because you're paying for their gift. And all you do is you elect not to keep your credit card on there because you don't want to be on the auto ship form next year. So, and they have a vCard, a holiday gift, whether it's Hanukkah or Merry Christmas or whatever it may be, or maybe it's somebody's birthday that you have, a special occasion, or maybe you want to give a gift certificate to all your employees out there, workers with you out there. So the gift certificate is right up in your back office, and you can take those down and start giving it out at the holiday season. So the second thing I want to talk about is events. Events are really key, whether you're doing a one-on-one or you're doing a meeting in somebody's office, or maybe it's a home presentation, or maybe it's a hotel. Like here in Fort Lauderdale, you know, whether you live in Dade, Palm Beach, or Broward County, corporate is doing a presentation this Wednesday evening, starting at 7. We have meet and greet at 6:30. The meeting starts at 7. It's a special meeting. We're going to go over some new things, and we're going to tell everyone about the corporate program. So corporate program releases December 1st, and you'll be able to start sharing that with people. There will be forms up online that you'll have to fill out. You have to be an MA or above to do a corporate program with us. Why do we want that? Well, let me tell you something. The reason why we want that is we want you to be familiar with the product. Because remember, you're walking into corporations out there. We want you to have their best interests at heart and do the best you can do. So you should build them a rock style card. Now, how are you going to build them a rock style card? Well, you have to be good at building cards. That's why we want you to be in a while before you're calling on a corporation. You get one chance with a corporation. So you want to put your best foot forward. So you might want to use your support team to help you do this, because they're going to get paid on the corporation that you're bringing in too. And I would do it as a team effort to make sure you prepare well. And things that you need to do to prepare well on is know your client inside out before you even walk in the door. What are their sales? What are they selling? What is their objective? What are they trying to do? What is their paper expense that you're reducing? How much are they spending on websites? What are they paying for customer acquisition? And then produce a card that will show them how, number one, how it's going to save them money, and it's going to save them time. And that's really what you want to do. Is you want to sell benefits. You don't want to sell the features. The features are going to back up what you're going to provide them, what you're going to be doing for them. And the only way you can ever know what they need is you have to ask them questions. So you got to be very familiar with their business, know all aspects of their business inside and out, because you don't want to put together a card that doesn't make sense for their company. You want to put up videos. You want to put up support information. You want to put up events. You want to put up different things on the card that a corporation wants to not only communicate with their employees, but also communicating with their customer. Remember, it's all about the customer experience when you're going out presenting the card. So make sure that you look for those results when we come out with it. We're going to send out an email in detail this week, all about it, on what you need to do and what you can expect to have on the corporation deals. So those forms will be out, and we're working on putting together, finishing on the corporate presentation. We've been working around it all weekend long. So like I said, we are doing an event here on the 29th. Now I'm going to tell you how to work events. Now, a lot of times people go into events, and this is good for anything that you do. I don't care if you're in another direct sales company, you need this information. If you're in a company and you're going to events in your corporation, you need this information. A lot of people don't get where the important points are in the event. So there are things in the event that are very, very important. And prior to the event is very critical, and after the event. Why? Because guess what? You have full control what goes on before the event gets started and after the event ends. You're in control. While the event is going on, guess what? You don't have control. You're there to sit and listen. So what you want to do is, I always tell people you need to get to the event 15 minutes to a half an hour in advance. Why? Because you want to meet the people prior to the event, especially in direct sales. Because what you want to do is, if you're bringing in a prospect into an event, you want to pair them with like-kind people, right? So if you're bringing in a teacher, you want to try to introduce them to a teacher. If you're bringing in an attorney, you want to bring somebody and introduce them to an attorney using the card, or an accountant. Or if you're looking for a salon owner, you're going to look for somebody that's in the salon business. You want to pair people. So, and you want to introduce them to people. And I always like to do this, is introduce them to the important people that are there prior to the meeting, And I like to, at least go up and say, hey, listen, I want to introduce you to the speaker tonight, or one of the speakers, or the person doing the introducing the speakers, because it's very important. Why? Because that brand new person that's coming to the event, when the person, they don't even know that the person's going to be speaking, but you introduced them to them before, and when they get up and they go, hey, I met this person prior to the meeting. Wow. All of a sudden you had their full, undivided attention. It works so well. And that's why what you need to do is, when you go to the event, you need to learn everyone else's story. So you got to be a good storyteller. So what I've always done, since I've been in the industry full-time since 1987, it's been over 30 years now, I always go and I sit down in the event, and I always take a pad, a pen, or a pencil. I always take notes. Even today, and if you listen to, the people that I go out with in vCard Global, and we go to other people's events, you can ask them. You could ask Adam Bricker, or you could ask Tina Weiss, or you could ask David Horton, or you could ask Angelica. You can ask these people. I always walk in with a pen and a pad, and I'm taking notes. What am I taking notes on? I'm taking notes on people's stories, because I want to learn other people's stories. So when I'm talking to somebody, I actually borrow that information and it becomes part of my story. It's just like I would say, oh, just the other day when I was at the event, I met a friend of mine, Rich. He's been very successful in the direct sales business. He's gone to the top of many companies. Let me introduce you to him. Boom. And what I do is I edify the person. And why? Because I met him at an event. I learned his story. And I went up and I'm going to introduce my prospect to that person. Because now when they see other successful people doing the business just like themselves, it always works. It always works. Use the tools of the business. So prior to the meeting, what are we doing? You're going to get there a half an hour, 15 minutes ahead of time before. You're going to introduce them to as many people as you know there, that fit with them, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 people, and you want to know their stories. So that's very important. So what do you do prior to the event? You promote the event. You see, we're always promoting events. Like after this event today, what's the next event that you're going to promote? You're going to promote Tuesday night's call. So, but what you're going to do is you're going to be calling everyone you know, inviting everyone. And please, you can text people. Email doesn't work anymore. Let's face it. I get hundreds of emails every day. I just look for ones that I want to open up, and I open up. The rest I just delete. So if you're not emailing people on a regular basis and a friend, they aren't going to open your email. I mean, get over it. I mean, it doesn't work. Texts, they're looking at texts. They'll probably open up a text. But I'll tell you what, nothing replaces the human aspect in it, the personalization of you actually picking up the phone and calling somebody and inviting them to the event. Say, listen, I'm really busy right now. Like I'll call Tina and I'll say, Hey, Tina, this is Alan. Listen, I only got a minute here. We're doing a fabulous event this Wednesday. The owners of the company are going to be there. They're taking the company to the next level. Corporations around the world are going to start coming into this company. You've got to come to the event. Here's the event. I'm going to text you all the information. Boom, they see the text. I want to save you a seat. So tell me, are you definitely coming? Because I can only get 3 or 4 seats, and that's it. And I want you to have one of those seats. So what you do is you make them feel really special. I only can get 2 or 3, 4 seats or whatever it may be that you want to use, and then get them to the event and get them to commit. Get them to commit. And let me tell you something. You know how you get people to events? I've seen people, and over the 30 years, you ever see those hall generals out there? They're pacing up and down the hallway at the event. They're walking up, and I go, you know what? I invited all these people here. I don't know what happened to them. What happened? They didn't show up. You know how to get them to the meeting? Pick them up. Listen, on my way to the meeting, I'm going to come by and pick you up. We'll get a piece of pie or we'll get a drink after the meeting. Look for it. I want to catch up with you anyway. Boom. Pick them up. They're always there. So you're in charge of the first part of the meeting. Now, when you're doing good, the meeting needs you. And when you're doing bad, you need the meeting. So if things just aren't going right, what do you want to be around? You want to be around upbeat people that things are going right with. You want to find out, what are they doing? What am I doing wrong? And what are they doing right? What do I need to do? So if you're doing bad, you need the meeting. And if you're doing good, the meeting needs you. So always go to all the meetings. People used to ask me that all the time. They go, Alan, how the heck are you making all this money in this industry? You're always busy. You're at every meeting. You do half the meetings. You do the trainings. You go over here. You travel there and everything. And where do you find the time to make the money? I says, that's how I make the money. I says, because people follow successful people. What? You don't want to get involved with somebody that doesn't show up to all the meetings or doesn't call their group or doesn't do things with their team. No, you want to be attached to leadership. So as you lead, the people will follow. You see, the busiest people out there make the most amount of money. And the money will track you down because you're all in. You've got to be all in to make the money that people talk about. And a lot of times people never meet the people that make the money in the industry. Well, in vCard, you will meet the people that are making the money, because I can see the people that are on the call here this evening, and you guys have all been successful in 1 or 2 or many more ventures that have been out there. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, and sit in your seat. See, if you're walking around and jumping around and stuff like that, guess what? Your people, you should be sitting next to your guest. Because if you're not sitting next to your guest, you want to make them feel important. So sit there. And like I said, I always take notes. If I just pick up one nugget, as a leader in the industry, I don't care what meeting I go to, I always take that pen and piece of paper. And if I just come up with 1 or 2 words or a phrase out of there, it was worth my time. So, and don't go in shorts and ripped jeans and, well, ripped jeans is stylish today. Ripped stylish jeans you can wear. But don't go in where you just got caught on the fence, or you fell down, or you played football this weekend in your pants. You don't want to do that. But what you want to do is look presentable, because success breeds success. Now, I'm not telling you have to go wear a tie and a suit and stuff like that, but be smart, dress smart, and dress how people know you. Don't try to put it on net. I've been in the industry so long, I've seen it all. I've seen people get up and do meetings, and I said, who is that person? What do they think they are, a performer? You want to speak from the heart. So you're in charge of the first part of the meeting, the first third. The meeting goes on. Sit there, take good notes, watch the meeting. And it doesn't matter if the person's brand new or they've been doing this 1,000 times. Remember, the guest is seeing it for the first time. You've seen it so many different times, it doesn't matter. Sit there with your guest, and I always clap, and I always say, wow, what a great meeting. Even if it wasn't, it was a great meeting. You never want to say anything derogatory about anyone or anything. So then after the meeting, you're in charge again, because now the meeting's over, the message is out there, and what is your job? You want to close the people that you've talked to at the meeting. And you should always have a call to action after the meeting. So after the meeting, you want to close the person, and the best thing to do is to announce the next meeting. That's why when we do the Zoom calls and we get done with the meetings, we always tell you about the next meeting, because we're always building to the next event. And I know the people that are out there working the program, Angelica and Tina and Susan and people here, that you're on the phone. Well, listen, we're having a corporate event. I'll tell you, if you're living in either one of these three, I have people driving down from Jacksonville and stuff in the state just to meet the CTO and me, and people are building it to an event. So if somebody is within the 3 counties that I just mentioned, Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach, I would be on the phone all day tomorrow, all day Tuesday and Wednesday, getting people. You don't have to be there. Call your support team and say, listen, I've got this person coming. They're expecting you to be there. Your person will be there ahead of time, greeting them and everything. And the meeting will be rock style quality. So, that's your agenda over the next few days. If you know anybody in the area, get with the people out there and build for events. And then when the event's over, you sell the next event. Like our next event here, what am I doing? We're doing a training call, and what am I selling? The event on Wednesday, the corporate event. And I'm selling it to all of you out there, because why? Even though we have people like Fred Koo over there in Singapore, and we have Jan over there in Thailand, they know people here in the States that are in these 3 counties. Invite them to the meeting. Your support team is there. So it doesn't matter where you are. It's who do you know? This is an opportunity of a lifetime. We at corporate do about 1 meeting a month, usually, or 1 every other month. It's your opportunity to get them to come and meet Steve Mayton, the UI gentleman, or myself, or the top distributors in the area, or Stephen Remendini, the CTO of the company. It's a great way to introduce people. So as we go through those people in our life, and we invite them to either a sit down, a one-on-one, a home presentation, or we're going to invite them to an event at a hotel. You might have to go through many, many, many more people than just calling, oh, I'm going to call up 2 or 3, I'll get my 2 or 3 people there. Well, let me tell you something. Life happens and all excuses are equal. So I believe in everyone and trust in no one. I believe they're coming. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I'll tell you what, I'm always going to back myself up. So if I'm going to want 3 people there, I'm going to invite 10 people there, because I know a third or 2/3, something's going to come up in their time of day and something's going to happen. So I'm going to close with this. And I love this story. And it's different for each of us as we're building organizations, whether we're inviting people to meetings or you're building an organization and your list. If I had a bucket of oysters and there was 100 oysters in the bucket, and what I did is somebody gave me 5 of the largest pearls in these oysters, and I took out 5 of the oysters and I put those other oysters in the bucket, and then I shook it up and I gave you the bucket. My question to you is this: would you go through the bucket of 100 oysters, shucking them to find the 5 largest pearls in the world? Well, let me tell you, ironically enough here is that some people will and some people won't. And this is how it goes. If I had 2 buckets with equal pearls in each, and I give it to the first person, and maybe the first person sticks their hand in and they pick up an oyster and turn it open, and wow, there is one of the largest pearls in the world, and they take it out. They stick their hand in again, fish around, take out another one, boom, open it up, wow, there's another large pearl out there in the world. They stick their hand in again, and boom, they got the third one. And the other person gets their bucket, and they get their bucket, and they stick their hand in, they open up the first one, nothing in it. They stick their hand in again, and they go through 2 or 3, 4 or 5 more, nothing. Now their hand, they're saying, oh boy, I'm going to dig down deep. And they go down and grab another one. They open up, nothing. They go and stick their hand in again, and now they got a couple cuts on it, it's getting kind of raw. And it's starting to sting in their hand, and they take out another one. And then they stick their hand in again, and they open another one up, and there's no pearl. Let me ask you a question. Are you going to quit? Or are you going to keep going through the bucket of oysters? You watched me put the 5 largest pearls in there. They're in there, in the 100 people that you're going to contact. Don't ever give up. They're always out there. Timing is different for all people. Success are in people that never quit. They keep moving forward. So I just want to say, get your bucket of oysters and start going through and start shucking them as fast as you can. Because this next year, the company will go viral, and we want you all to join us in success and have a great evening.